The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Humoller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
There you go.
Go!
Now we're talking.
Cowboys!
We have an audience.
Your pros let the whole world hear our bugles blow. Stand up!
I wonder if anyone in the tour knows the words to our theme song. Stampeding to another victory.
They look too young.
Someone's got to know.
Ah, yes. Here it is. It's already Thursday of Seahawks week inside the SWBC podcast studio, and we all made it safely back from the Thanksgiving holiday. How is everybody?
And that was a stampede we saw.
It was. Seems like a long time ago now.
I am tired.
You
Well,
tired
we
from the
all didn't
stampede?
go out
Tired
of
for 'em.
I
town.
am tired. Man.
Yeah,
Tired from your holiday
he
weekend?
went to
Yeah,
New
but it was
Orleans.
work, though. It was work. It was
the
work.
bayou.
Yeah, man, I had to walk all up and down Canal Street. Boy, my calves are killing me.
Poor kid.
Yeah, and then we lost, too, in dramatic fashion.
But you won half.
really?
You
Yes,
won half.
we lost at the 1 yard line. Come on, man. We lose the 1 yard line.
Was it
It's
as
crazy.
What do you
bad as
mean
the-
you lost at the 1 yard?
We
line?
couldn't punch it in. We were like,
Oh.
yeah, we were like the Cowboys versus, the Browns.
Was it-
Back in 1994, I think it was. Couldn't punch
That's
it
right.
in.
When
It
Novacek-
hits on the
Novacek
1 yard
ended
line,
at
and
the
then
1
the clock
yard
ran
line.
out
That's the way it
before
was.
they can run another play.
That's the way it happened.
But we decided you won halftime.
Ah, okay. You did.
He didn't even watch halftime.
I
No,
did.
no. No, halftime is that's as much of a spectacle as the game
Right?
is. Yeah.
Would you rather lose that way or lose the way Auburn lost?
Man.
On fourth
had
and
to
goal
bring
from
it
the
up, Phil.
31.
I've kind of lost like Auburn lost in my life. So yeah, that's kind of happened before. So I know what they feel.
So that was the last play, right?
The last play.
Very last play.
The very last play.
So what were they doing in like man coverage?
I didn't watch it live. I wasn't sure what was.
I don't know if it was man coverage.
I saw the play,
It wasn't.
though.
It wasn't man coverage.
It was scramble
just that
drill.
The guy just matched up with him. It wasn't man coverage. I think he just matched up with him.
because
you
the
know.
quarterback floated out to the left.
Yeah,
and
so
he
he's
was-
like,
so it
okay,
was-
let me
now it's
let me
scramble
latch
drill.
on to this guy. But
It's
it was,
CD doing his thing
What's that?
on scramble drill, where
Yeah.
CD gets
There you
open,
go.
and so
There
that
you go.
wide receiver
Yeah.
found an opening in the
Exactly.
back of the.
Why don't I have
Exactly,
11
bro.
guys across this goal line?
First of all, you don't need to have 9 guys back there and rushing 2. You can't give a quarterback all the time in the world. You got to give pressure so that they don't sit back
Same
there.
thing happened in the
and
Eagles
do
game
Rodgers,
yesterday.
Do Aaron Rodgers. You can't do that.
Same thing happened in the Eagles game yesterday, where Jalen
Same thing.
back of the end zone, and then you got
Yeah.
Micah Hyde and Poyer, who
Right.
they're two of the best defense. Now they're Buffalo is missing their best defensive back. He's been out all year, Tre'Davious White.
Well, Hyde,
but
looked-
Hyde,
he looked like a little teenager.
Hyde, and Poyer are back there, and
treated-
Zacchaeus.
Wow.
He treated him like a teenager. I've never seen I don't understand why he was so meek. You know what I mean? He let the guy push off on him. He just looked like he wasn't ready for the ball to come. I mean, this is what you're supposed to be ready for. He acted like he wasn't ready at all. You know, the jump was meek. The effort was meek to me. I was very surprised that he was a veteran defensive back. He played like a rookie on that play.
Do you realize? I know we haven't got into what we're supposed to get in,
Who cares?
but
We never do.
the Cowboys are like 2 makeable plays from being tied for first base place, right?
Yep.
The Kansas City game, guy doesn't catch the winning touchdown pass at the goal line, and then in this game, the guy's wide open in the end zone, and he looks left, and the pass goes right, and he doesn't turn around soon enough. If he turns around, he could have adjusted, right? And I'm sitting there going, what are you doing? But it's 2 plays. They would be 3 losses right now.
That's right.
And yet,
they continue to find ways to win.
they do.
You have to respect that.
And now
you have to respect
we're
it.
about to find out the next 2 weeks just how good Philadelphia really is.
Yep.
But the officiating yesterday, that's what got me. That's what got
Well,
me.
they've been blessed
They've been
in that regard
extremely
every time they pull out a
blessed.
close game.
Playing at home. They just, I don't know, the officiating. There was a couple calls yesterday that weren't in favor for
Kosher.
the Bills
They weren't
whatsoever.
kosher.
Oh, but I got to tell you this stuff because it was hilarious. So I'm coming back from here. It was not quite halftime of the game, and I'm listening to Sirius Radio, and so I'm listening to the Eagles broadcast of the first half.
I was listening to some of that.
Did you listen to the part when they ran? They were struggling on offense, right? And it was the Philadelphia network broadcast,
Merrill
right?
Reese.
On WIP, right? And at one point,
legendary.
they're struggling on offense, and they called like a quarterback run, and it didn't work. Got stopped for like 0 yards or 1 yard, and the analyst goes, "Boy, was that weak." He didn't like the play call.
Was that Mike Quick?
I
the
don't
analyst
know
on
who
there? I
it
can't
was.
remember.
If it's Philadelphia, yeah.
But it
I think
had
it
that.
was. I think it was Mike Quick.
And there was this Philadelphia Northeast kind of matter of fact of broadcasting the game, right? They came back from break, and it was just before halftime, and it's been pouring down rain, right? Just pouring down rain. And the play-by-play guy goes, "I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking this Philadelphia offense is about as dreary as the weather." And I just started laughing like they were giving them hell on their own broadcast.
Well,
That's Philly for you.
Right?
here's what I actually
That's
heard.
funny.
I think I heard this right. It hurts through an interception. I was on the elliptical at the time, and so I wasn't watching.
I missed that.
But
Yeah.
Merrill Reese said, as they came back from a break, said, "What chances do you give us of winning this game the way this thing has started without Lane Johnson at tackle?
Yes.
There's been 3 sacks, and what chance do you have of us getting this win today?" And about that time, Hurts threw an interception.
But-
Quick said, "Well, if you would have asked me that before he threw the interception, I'd say pretty good chance, but now I don't think so."
And then later, Quick goes, "We got more problems than Lane Johnson missing."
And yet
they came
Yeah,
back
they
and
came
won.
back and won.
So here we are.
And here we are with the Cowboys on the practice field again, because it is a regular work week for the Cowboys from Thursday to Thursday, which makes this Thursday of their week,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
How
And
confusing is that?
And they were here on Wednesday, on Sunday, by the way.
Well,
And
they
there
look-
was
they
2
look
of
like-
us here, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Vicky and I had to text him yesterday morning to make sure we were going to be there for Wednesday, yesterday. So we came up to the facility yesterday, went into the locker room, talked to a few guys, press conference later on. So
Emphasis on few.
DaRon Bland?
Yes.
we did, yes.
And Mike McCarthy. I actually waited for that. That's why I was watching the game here, the first half of the
Oh, okay.
Eagles game. Or I started watching. No, I was watching New Orleans and
Atlanta.
Yeah. That New Orleans couldn't figure out how to score.
That shows how weak the schedule was on Fox on Sunday.
That was the
where
local game.
That was the best noon game they could find to send to the nation was New Orleans, Atlanta. That's what happens when you play 3 games on Thursday and 1 on Friday and then have the regular Monday night game. But it was a good game on Jacksonville and Houston on CBS yesterday.
I watched the end
And then
of
the
that.
decision had to be made by our people at CBS whether to give the locals Philadelphia, Buffalo, which was an easy decision, or Kansas City and Las Vegas, which made my Texas Tech grad wife not very
Not happy with that one.
So,
But having said that, We did have a game on Thursday, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
An
And what a
amazing
game it was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, the
lot of
whole
fun.
day was fun. I don't remember a Thanksgiving game that kind of brought so much joy to so many people in so many different respects, right? Between, the Cowboys winning by a bundle, DaRon Bland breaking the record, the Salvation Army Red Kettle jump-ins and turkey legs, and then Dolly.
How did Jerry describe it?
Better than one of the best days I've had in my Cowboys history. And somebody said,
It might be the
including the Super Bowls, and he goes, might have been better.
Wow.
No. That is
And that's
not
how
true.
Cowboys Nation
That's not
responded.
true. That's not true. That can't be true.
Well, it wasn't.
He was caught up in the moment.
He
The
was.
win. I
And
mean, the
can see
win
that.
wasn't
this
better.
time in his life, right? At 80+ years old. I mean, yeah. I think he means it. It means a lot because of where he is in his life.
And
Yeah.
it was the whole atmosphere, the whole thing. Dolly coming out and
Yeah.
the cheerleader. Did you know that
So
was
that's
happening?
kind of how he made it.
I may have had an idea.
You might have had an idea. It was. It just made everybody smile, right? I mean, it was just. She's so genuine, and it was a pretty neat day.
And the return was
How about that?
pretty damn impressive. So when did he play wide receiver? In high school or did he play in college?
He said in high school when we talked to him.
He had to be pretty good.
But on his college bio at Fresno, because he was at 3 years at Sacramento State and then he was at Fresno State, and it said nothing. On his collegiate bio, it says nothing about anything in offense in high school. Doesn't mean he didn't play offense in high school. He obviously said he played offense, but he was known as a defensive player even in high school. So he played both ways in high school.
Well, he saw the interception coming from a mile away, right?
yeah, but the interception, that was easy.
That's
It
what
was
I'm
getting to the
saying.
end zone.
That was the
It
easy
was a
part.
horrible pass.
The crowd roar.
Yeah.
The crowd roar when he split through the three
That's the part that got
Washington
me.
players at the
return was
10-yard
just
line.
impressive.
That's
not a gimme.
There was
It's
the
not
crowd
close to
roar.
a gimme.
There was the crowd roar when he had the pick. Okay, at the back of his own
everyone's
40-yard
anticipating
line.
now. They're
Okay,
like,
and then it
yeah.
kind of dies down again, and then when he broke through the three Washington players at the 10-yard line, I thought Corey Seager hit another home run because it was an extra oomph, the crowd roar, and then it became the greatest day in Cowboys history at that point.
And then when he talked about it, it was like, well, what were you thinking when you picked the ball off? And he goes, well, let's go. Let's go get it.
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay, but he's not going to get by the
Yeah,
quarterback.
you got three people, man. There's
And he
no
gets
way you
by
can
the
just
quarterback.
anticipate you're going to get
I
through
don't,
there.
and I don't care if those three people have never made a tackle in their life. There's still three people there.
Right.
Exactly.
And they look like they never made a tackle in their lives because that's what he
Apparently
made them
so.
look.
And Mr. Humble decided, I'm going to celebrate. So he spikes the ball, right? And
Now
then
they don't
everybody
have the
else
ball.
gets there, and it's like, oh, no, you're going in the kettle.
Yeah.
But what stood out to me in the end zone, it was a fifth-round pick, DaRon Bland, and two former rookie free agents, Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell, were in the end zone. And I saw that, and I said, somebody needs a picture of that.
Yeah.
Look where these three guys came from, and look where they are right now. And they made sure they got them in the red kettle. Like they
That
did.
would be like a
You have to
picture
get
of
him in the
Cliff
red
Harris, Drew
kettle there.
Pearson, and Everson Walls together.
That's true.
But yes,
That's a good one.
but it was, and then planting the turkey legs in there, and the whole bit was.
It was great.
I was actually with Marquise's relative, the one that in the beginning told me
Told
to
you
look out for.
keep an eye on him.
And so I visited her this weekend along with my wife. So to be able to, she doesn't watch much football, but to be able to tell her, Marquise Bell, your cousin is a starter for the Dallas Cowboys right now. So all the concern that they had about him early on in training camp, because he's kind of introverted type of guy, they are feeling so proud of him right now because, his journey's not over.
Right.
But he's definitely far ahead of where he thought he would be at this point.
His introversion is starting to lift.
Starting to
by the way.
rein a little
He'll
bit.
actually command an interview with a bunch of people around it
Excellent.
and do well.
Excellent.
I wonder who did well on our picks this past week. Let's get to that. When Mick Shots continues in a moment.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, so much to get to. Looking ahead to Seattle on Thursday, and so much to get to looking back at Thursday, since it's our first time to get together since then. And we want to look at our picks first, get that out of the way.
Yes, I think so.
I think we all
Can
did
we
really
bring
well.
in Producer Supreme here to just remind us all of our pod picks?
Boy,
What were the pod
she
picks?
sure is
What were the
speaking up
pod
a lot.
picks? That was the score of the game? Was that what it was?
Score of the game.
Score of the game.
of the game.
Should we
I
start
wonder
there?
if Producer Supreme has it. Huh. Okay.
Well,
I remember mine.
I bet Savannah has it.
I have.
Oh, Everson.
My score was 35-20.
Nope. No good.
Savannah's score, let me say this, Spag's score was 30-17.
No good.
No good?
You know, you can't go over when you predict this.
What do you mean you can't go over?
You can't go over.
What do you
Once
mean?
you go
It's not
over,
like
you're
The
done.
Price is Right.
Once
That's
you
right.
Go, yes, it's true. It is like
Now
The
you're
Price is
changing
Right.
the rules in the middle of the game.
Those rules have never been changed. Bill had 52-20.
On second, wait.
30. No, that was the first guess.
on second thought, right?
No, it was first.
Oh,
my
that was
my pick to
first?
click was different. So that's a 32-point margin. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but
They
it's-
won
it's-
by
no,
35,
no,
right?
No,
Okay.
their score was only 45.
45 to
Yours
10,
was
35-point
52,
margin.
which means that you
52 to
you
20
are also
32-point
bang,
margin.
everyone else. Yes.
Okay, let's get to Savannah.
Savannah, however, she might have doubled up on us. 40-14.
Woo!
Pretty damn close.
Closest
Pretty
one.
damn close.
26-point win.
And we have a little, three-way tweet.
Which, by the way, Savannah, I said,
Stop.
I
Bill.
said
Shut
we
up.
need to add to Savannah
No.
to our group
I
text.
was the one that said, "Hey guys, give me Savannah's number," which I already
Everson was
had
the
it,
only
by the
one that
way.
reached out.
Yeah, and then that's when Bill comes after the fact. Oh yeah, hey, I need Savannah's number. Yeah. So also,
And
she
also,
said Turpin would get a touchdown. Now
That wins.
it's little because she said
Correct.
She specifically said special teams.
I did want a special teams touchdown. He
Now-
did have a touchdown, however.
Oh no, that's
so-
amazing. That was we're ready to kind of give you that, but okay. Spags said D-Law would have multiple sacks. Did that happen?
No.
No. So you blew it on both points. Bill said Marquise would have a touchdown. Did
I
that happen?
changed it. I changed that one.
To what?
I changed
When
it
did you
to.
change it?
I changed it because
I don't remember all of this.
No, Mickey knows. I changed it.
No, he doesn't.
Later that day,
You
I
can
sent
change
on
it
our
later
group
in the
text, which
day?
you aren't a part of, Savannah, which you will now be a part of. On the group text, I said, no, I need to change my pick. I can't believe I didn't do this on the air. The pick to click on Thanksgiving Day is Cooks. Every cook is a pick to click. So I'm going with Cooks. And what'd he do?
I don't know about that one.
I think he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, he did.
And by the way, Bell is going to be my pick to click on Christmas Eve.
Okay, so hold up.
Silver Bell.
Mine was, 35-20. And then I had Pollard. I said 100 yards from scrimmage. That's right. I
How
said
many
that.
did he have?
I believe he had almost 100 exactly.
He had 13 carries for 79 yards.
And
receiving.
And come on,
you said
y'all.
from scrimmage.
From scrimmage,
Yeah, but
Mr. Ant. Yeah, you
okay.
ant too early.
24 yards.
What's 79
Come on,
plus
man.
24?
Come on, man.
That's 100.
Come on.
103.
Come on. So I'm right behind her. I'm right behind her. She's
So we're all in agreement?
I'll give it all to Savannah.
We're all in agreement. Savannah wins.
Savannah wins, and I get a close second.
Feasted on Thanksgiving.
There you go.
So now we need to put this in. You can't go over.
Okay.
can't go
The
over.
price is right. Bob
Yes.
Barker has
Yeah,
spoken.
You can't go
And you
over.
can't keep coming up with gimmicks, okay?
Right, and changing your mind,
I told
afterwards.
the last thing I told him, but you need to take this more seriously.
Right, exactly.
And the reason I came up with 52 points, the most points the Cowboys had ever scored on Thanksgiving
Yeah.
Day was 51 against Seattle, 51-7 in 1980.
I just had a feeling the home streak was going to continue and they were going to keep scoring big at home. And that's exactly what they did.
They did.
Yeah.
Now 13 straight at home.
In 7 games this season, but winning more than 20 points,
And
which
five,
ties the all-time record set in 1968.
5 of those at home, right? Every home game, right? Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
right. Yep.
Well, they're 3/4 of the way towards my 4-game winning streak. Got one more to go till they get to Philadelphia.
They're
and
3/5 of the way.
Continue,
They're
right?
3/5
No,
away
yeah.
to my 5-game winning
Well,
streak.
you had
which
to get
includes
to 9
Philadelphia.
and 3,
Yeah.
right? And if it wasn't for those 2 passes that the opponent screwed up, they would have been tied for first right now. 2 of them.
That's right.
They still have a chance to be tied for first after the game on December 10th.
Yes.
Philadelphia lose to San Francisco this week and then to Dallas the next week, and we're all tied up, headed in the stretch run of the season.
Man, they can pull off some stuff. That's all I know.
You got to earn it this year.
Yeah.
I mean, this schedule coming down in December for both teams, Philly and Cowboys.
Phillies gets easier, but
right now,
Philly that's the credit to them is they're going through their rugged stretch right now, and they're unbeaten through it so
Figuring
far.
out how to win.
And they have Miami this weekend, correct?
Is it I thought it was San Francisco.
Or is it San
I
Fran?
think it's San
Let me look.
Let me look at it.
and they do play Miami.
They already played Miami.
They already played.
They played Miami.
Yeah.
That was part of this stretch.
It's San Francisco.
San Fran.
Oh yeah, that's when Tyreek Hill dropped
And San
the ball.
Francisco's playing well now. They got it back together. In fact, if you look at the NFC, now with Detroit losing to Green Bay on Thanksgiving Day,
Yes.
I think you clearly put Philly, San Francisco, and Dallas top 3 teams in the NFC.
No doubt. Detroit just,
And then
they're
Detroit's
good,
right
but
there.
they just don't know how to, win yet. They don't know how to be a target. They're a target this year.
By the way, Green Bay I like what Jordan Love is doing.
They're
in
starting
Green
to
Bay.
sneak into this thing.
And with their young receiving core.
So my standings say that Green Bay's 5-6 right now, and that's really only 1 game away from the wild card berth. I don't care about
Because Seattle comes in here at
Seattle
6-5.
6-5. Minnesota 6-5.
By the way, Seattle plays here, and then they play at San Francisco. Having just lost to San Francisco on Thursday night, then they play at Dallas, and they get San Francisco again, and then they get Philadelphia. How about the stretch for them? and they preceded that by losing at the Rams, who, I mean, Sean McVay's doing a great coaching job with the Rams, and they've got Stafford back.
Well,
but
and
so Seattle comes in here staring. If they lose to Dallas, they'll be 6-6. And San Francisco and Philadelphia, they are staring 6-8 in the face.
And then in the hot race in the South, it's a two-way tie for first at 5-6.
5-6.
With now Tampa Bay at 4-7, only one game off the pace.
Is that crazy?
And Carolina fires their coach this morning.
Well, who's going to get fired this week?
And the
That plays the Cowboys.
Colts are still doing pretty well without Frank Reich. Yeah. Which I'm surprised at that. You know, I thought Frank would really show him. You know, I thought he'd take some receipts, as the young people say these days. But nah, not with the Panthers, not with that team.
You know what's happened for the Colts that's helped them is their rookie quarterback got hurt, and they got a veteran to. Carolina would have a better record if Andy Dalton was their quarterback.
Right.
But I bet that was an organizational decision that this guy had to start.
Yep.
And then they
So
got
C.J.
very
Stroud
little around him.
C.J. Stroud just got a coach fired.
Yeah,
basically.
Or the Cowboys did for beating these teams so badly.
Now that's one thing that I've noticed. When the Cowboys beat a team, I mean they dismantled the entire team.
Well, they fired Jack Del Rio.
Yeah, I mean people are losing jobs. You know, they're not just winning the game. They're messing up a whole organization.
How about Carolina though making this decision in the first year, 11 games in to their first year for this head coach here? Think of the financial decision that is that David Tepper just made. It's basically, I mean, the going rate on head coaches in this league, you would think $6 million a year, 5 years. That's $6 million. That's $30 million there, plus the coaching staff. Basically gets turned over when a new coach comes on. That's a $40 million mistake or decision.
Go ask A&M.
Yeah.
But not only that, the season's not even over.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It didn't even give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you know who you want to hire.
But okay, when you look at Frank Reich, you know he's a guy that you would think could communicate with a quarterback with the potential.
And communicate with an owner.
Yeah. Who just signed me. You just signed me. You knew that. You pretty much knew this was going to happen. They probably
were
didn't think it was going to be
pains.
this bad.
Yeah.
You know, but they knew it was going to be growing pains. Yes. So I don't know what he expected.
Not like this means anything, but Tepper's worth $20 billion. I don't think
$40 million is
$40
not.
million is like.
Are they worried?
Just letting you know.
It's like $40.
Yeah, like okay, $40. There you go. Go ahead, get out of here. $20.6 billion is how much he's worth.
Having said that, yeah, he's worth a lot of money, but it still doesn't bode well for the operations. You know, now unless he has someone else in mind, what do you do now? You know, you're gonna still. How are you gonna find someone better than Frank?
Maybe he's got a college coach that he wants to hire.
Maybe.
And he wants to get a jump start on it.
Harbaugh?
He's going to get.
Because college is almost over,
Harbaugh?
right?
Or
just conference championships.
Guy who coached Bryce Young in college.
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien is New England.
As a coordinator. That's a yeah. I thought
they got to. I assume they're not firing Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you thought Saban was ready to come back.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, that would be a story. All right. So, Mickey, you got your legal pad filled with stuff, and we want to get to that when we come back here on Mick Shots in just a moment.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
Experience the most electrifying event of the holiday season, Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant. Every Friday and Saturday night now through December 16th, Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza ignites the star in Frisco with an unforgettable holiday performance showcasing 65 performers, including the world-renowned Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Santa Claus, and appearances from your favorite Dallas Cowboys football heroes. Visit thestardistrict.com for more info.
Okay, Mickey, tell us what you got on your legal pad.
I've got a note here that says Shaq Leonard is coming in for a visit tomorrow.
Whoa.
I saw that. Yeah, that was in some notes.
So I
yesterday.
did a little bit of research on this. I was told, so it was game day, I guess, that they had put a call in to whoever they needed to call to kind of research this, and they were going to kind of look at it. Their initial fear was there were other teams that were very interested in him, and they were including the Eagles too. By the way, I think you point out that the Eagles lost Nakobe Dean, and there was multiple teams that were going to be interested in him. So now it could come down to money. But it also could come down to, since the Colts are on the books for his base salary this year, and they made this decision knowing that they were going to have to account for $27 million in dead money by releasing him. And so it was like, well, why are they doing this? And he attended the Colts game on Sunday, and they showed him on the big board, and he got a standing ovation. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, whoever made that decision, I wonder if management was happy with that video. So I decided to kind of look into this thing. And obviously he's had back problems. In 2022, he had 2 surgeries for nerve damage in his back. He only played 3 games. But this year he started 9 games, but he was going to be benched. And so I decided to kind of look on how he played in his last 3 games. And he's got 65 tackles this season. And in week 8, he had 11 tackles against New Orleans and a loss. In week 9, he had 10 against Carolina in a win. And in week 10, he had 9 tackles against New England in a 10-6 win. So he was playing. Mm-hmm. He was starting. And then they basically told him he wasn't going to start anymore. So it's kind of a curious decision by the Colts unless they decided they wanted to move forward with younger guys. But I think the Cowboys saw that he, was pretty active while he was playing, even though technically, from what I read, he wasn't playing at the same level he did to win all those Pro Bowls and All Pros at a linebacker, and they were kind of changing how they were going to play their defense. But, when I saw their starting lineups and where he played, he was like a weak side linebacker.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of meeting they have. It might not be about money. It might be about him saying, well, where can I go and have a chance to win in the playoffs? Mm-hmm. Meaning probably a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it, what happens. The good thing about him is he's ready to play. This is not like Rashaan Evans had been sitting on his couch.
Right.
Now, the downside is you got to look at his health, and then how much is it going to cost you? So it'll be interesting to see where they go.
How
with
bad
this
is that back, right?
Yeah.
That's what we want to find out.
And his visit is tomorrow.
Yeah, real Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, even though tomorrow's
Friday.
Couple of primary players on the Cowboys defense, a couple of starters have played with him before in Indianapolis. Stephon Gilmore last year and Malik Hooker.
So they should know.
So they have a pretty good read from a player standpound what kind of guy
and
he
a
is
connection,
in the locker room.
connection for him to say, well, I've played with these guys. Now, having said that, I don't know that linebacker's been their problem. With the play of Damone Clark and Marquise Bell has been pretty good. They finally got Evans into the game on Thursday. He ended up playing, where's my note here?
I think
he had 15 defensive snaps.
I think the way Dan Quinn uses his personnel on defense, any second level, linebacker level player, I mean, he uses them in a variety of ways.
Right.
And it would be prudent to fortify that position as much as you can.
I agree, Bill.
Going forward, just to make sure that you're set there, because it's important, on down the road in December, January, February.
Right.
To make sure that you're set at that position, because you think about it, they didn't really replace Anthony Barr in free agency last year. What they did, with DeMarvion Overshown, okay, that was their replacement. Well, he goes down, and so then Marquise Bell moves from safety to there, which has been great.
More of a hybrid, though.
And he's a hybrid. Yeah.
Still a hybrid.
And he's more. We'll see where Jaron Curse is with his back that kept him out of the game on Thursday. But
he's still a hybrid.
And that's right. And so this would be a player that would be more along the lines of your traditional linebacker, who's a great pass defender as well, and when he's healthy. But I think with the Van Der Esch injury, you bring in Rashaan Evans, but also I would go
this guy.
Because what if you have another injury?
And
where are you?
And Evans, yeah. So, remind me, they did put Evans on the 53, right?
Yes.
They had to finally move him up.
That was.
So you're sort of one injury away from having problems.
And they had the injury last week. Junior Fehoko goes down with his injury.
Yeah.
Which
shocking.
Shot Evans
That's right.
to the 53. Injuries come out of nowhere.
Speaking of injuries, you mentioned Jaron Curse. So Mike McCarthy did say today that he will participate in the majority of practice today, getting increased reps from what he did yesterday. And they had a jog through yesterday. So I guess we'll find out if he's on the field behind us.
And
after.
He said Curse took like half the snaps yesterday, but it was at a slower pace. So today will be the only practice, really, a practice, even though I'm sure they don't have pads on. I didn't think I saw them when they went out there. But at least they had their helmets on. So this was kind of a big headline on a Wire story about Seattle being confused about the week Because they were trying to explain to him that this is really Thursday. It's not,
Right.
whatever. And they were making a big deal out of him. I go, what's the big deal? Did you ever play on Thanksgiving before?
They have.
You have.
Yes.
And maybe they didn't play back-to-back, but usually they try to do that for the teams that are playing on Thanksgiving to play.
Yeah, I don't know of any
next
time
Thursday.
where they have had a team that played on, like the Cowboys, where you would play Thursday to Thursday, and your opponent on the second Thursday would be a team that played on Sunday. They don't do that.
Yeah, they try to. That's what they've been trying to do of late, and cut down on the travel too. By the way, but yeah, I thought that was amusing to me. But anyway, yeah, from an injury standpoint, he was the only guy anybody asked about was Curse, so they should be in pretty good shape there.
That's good. That's good.
So
what else
do you-
from?
So are you guys for signing Leonard if he'll
I'm for
play
it.
for
I
a
am.
Absolutely.
reasonable amount of money?
We need
Plus,
a
it's
true
probably-
true linebacker. We need a true linebacker.
And it's probably
like Vander is.
for what's left? 6 games? 5 games. What are we at? 11?
We're on
6,
we're going into week 13, so we'll have
6 games left, right?
No.
6.
The record is 8-3.
Yeah.
6 games left.
So 9.
This is the end of the
6
second trimester,
Yeah,
which is
right.
confusing. It's
We're back
confusing
in
because
college.
we have 6 games in the first trimester, 6 games in the second trimester, but only 5 in the third trimester.
Well, maybe the first
I
round
guess
of the playoffs counts.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sounds like the coach is in favor of an 18-game season to even out his trimesters.
And if he's not, unless somebody gives him a long-term deal, which I can't imagine they'll do, you're just paying him for this year, and he can be a free agent.
And then
next year.
we see what happens next year.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think the connections we have with Hooker and
Gilmore,
that should help. It really should. It really should.
And then you have a little bit more depth at the linebackers.
Let's see how that back is, though.
Yeah, they got it. That's what
Let's
they've
see
got
how
to
that
check.
is.
Yeah,
I feel
because
like-
everything I've read, he hasn't. But he's made a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
Just maybe not as. He only has 2 tackles for losses, and they zeroed out on everything else when I looked up his stats.
I realize it's been 4 days now, I guess, since Thanksgiving Day and that great win. Anything else from that win, though, that sticks in your mind 4 days later that made it so special? We talked about some of it, but there's so much that happened that was... the thing about it was a close game going to the fourth quarter.
They
it's
dominated in the fourth.
But it's like, you know what? In college, I had a roommate that had a piranha. We had a fish tank with a piranha in it.
I didn't expect that. I was like, what?
Where's this story
Okay.
going?
And on Friday afternoons, he would feed the piranha.
Only once a week?
Yeah, he would starve the piranha all week, and then on Friday afternoons he would feed the piranha, and so we would have piranha watching
That's what I was
parties.
going to say. They probably had beers and just watched the piranha.
Trying to
Wow,
feed
they
the
really tore that
piranha.
thing up.
I was not a part of this.
What did he feed?
How big was the tank?
Yeah, what did he and what
It
did
was
he
a
use?
tank about 4 feet wide. It was a big tank, whatever. And so he would go get some goldfish.
No.
Anyway,
Cute
It
little
ate
goldfish.
Probably.
I
ate it.
wasn't a
ate
part of this.
everything.
It was my roommate who did
piranha.
it.
He eats everything.
I'm not party to it, okay? I just sort of
But
observed.
he kept it on the seafood diet.
But that's what I get the feeling in the. It was don't stick your hand in there.
no.
Piranhas like hens.
So, how did we get to the piranha from
Yeah.
Thanksgiving?
I feel like in the fourth quarter,
was
early
a
fourth
feeding
quarter
frenzy.
of these games, I have a flashback to my roommate's piranha in college, and it's like, all right, here
That
it is.
was the fourth quarter?
As soon as that happened, like I have to see what happened in the fourth quarter. It was a 20-10 game.
Yeah.
And then, so we get to the fourth quarter, and Aubrey kicks a field goal to go up 23-10.
Didn't he miss?
Correct.
Did he miss an extra point?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. 23-10.
At that point, he had missed
That was
two
the
of the
point.
last four.
That was the point where all of a sudden I got this feeling that, okay, it's Piranha time. But actually, it was Micah time. He had a sack on the first play. And then Hankins had a sack on a 4th and 1 play. And then after that, it was the CD touchdown, and it's 31-10 with 10:32 left. And then after that, it's the Cavante touchdown. It's 38-10. And then DaRon Bland. That was the feeding frenzy. And that was the Friday afternoon Piranha time. And this has happened multiple times over the last year, including the Indianapolis game last year.
On the other side of that, that's what makes me nervous about playing on the road. Because we don't exhibit that on the road, so therefore those games are always closer.
Well, they did it in
and
Carolina.
then we have problems when we feel the pressure.
Well, it certainly helped that Riverboat Ron goes for it on 4th and 1 at his own 34. I could have told him that wasn't going to turn out well.
And they make stupid mistakes like that. The opposition. He's not the first coach to come in and do like the Giants. They came in with the stupid play calls.
I mean, I understand it's 23-10, but still, at your own 34,
they blow themselves up.
And then Hankins, of all people, gets his second sack of the game.
You're right.
Of all people.
And then after the Cowboys scored, they faced 4th and 4 at the Dallas 35 and went for it again. Well, at least it was at the 35, but it didn't take long for Turpin to run a hell of a route to get open on the touchdown on 3rd and 6. You know what was the Cook's route was amazing. How he got two guys, right? He faked kind of in, out, and then goes back in, and both the safety and the corner bid on it. But I'll tell you, when you ask what stood out, I thought the offensive line might have had one of its
3 straight games without a sack allowed.
Yep.
And I thought it was indicative of how they were playing on the screen pass, the dawdle, when you saw Biotish and Zach Martin pull.
Yep.
They got their guys, and then Ferguson took care of the last guy. And I know Dottle gets all the credit, but that was some offensive line play that was much better.
To see Biotish pulling around there like he was Kelsey or somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, to close it out, as you were going down your legal pad, I was doing some research. What Producer Supreme told us about how much money David Tepper makes or what he's worth, which is in the range of $20 billion. And when you let a coach go and a coaching staff, and I threw out $40 million decision, that would be the equivalent of someone who makes $100,000 a year making a $200 payment.
I was going to say $20,000.
It's $200 payment for someone who makes $100,000 a year.
Simple.
That's the equivalent.
Yeah.
Okay, what's $40 million to $20 million man?
Oh, hell. Let me see what I have in my wallet.
I still think it's the wrong move. I think it's still a hasty move, like Spag say, unless he has someone else in mind.
Yep. All right, that does it. We went overtime on a Thursday edition of Mick Shots, and we will see you again on Friday or Tuesday.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!